you had asked a question about the follow-up call, right? The Monday follow-up call, right?
Yep.
And watch, this will be really good for everyone to really understand. Your question was, if I remember correctly, you went to a preview appointment, call it on Wednesday, right?
Literally last night. Yep.
Last night. All right, cool. So your question was, well, dude, on Monday, what do I ask, right? That's kind of what you're asking?
Well, yeah, I mean, I went through your Monday follow-up call video last night, and the last part of it was like, hey, I want to stop out this week to show you my Fsbo backup plan program. I mean, is it too soon to ask that, I guess?
No.
Just there on Wednesday?
No. So here's the deal. So Jade, sorry, I butchered your first name, but
Good, man.
my name, I've got the worst name ever. First and last name sucks. Brendan, they can't say my first name or last name. So Jade, that's my bad, dude. All right. So how long have you been in our program now?
Probably a month, less than that, maybe.
Let me help you fast track your success right now. One of the most common mistakes that new students to our program make is they do everything perfectly, like everything. They run the play on the first call strategy, they go on the appointments, but they don't do this one thing, and that is this. Where I want you to be assertive is on that follow-up phone call. I don't want you to wait for them to tell you, Jade, hey, you know what, why don't you come back over and kind of explain to me what you can offer just by doing the follow-up call. So let me explain. So first part is, yes, I 100%, Jade, want you to call this person every single Monday without fail. So we can meet the first goal. That's top of mind awareness, because you and I can't afford to have billboards in every street with your picture on it, right? If we could, we would, but we can't. You agree?
Absolutely.
All right, so that is going to be achieved. That's a simple activity that you and I could do. The second part is we are absolutely going to be asking this question every time. So let's role play it, okay?
Gotcha.
All right, so check this out. You're going to be the Fsbo that you met last night, and I'm going to be you. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Jade, it's Brandon with Remax. How are you?
Hey, Brandon, I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great. Hey, I wanted to call and say thank you for taking the time to show me your property last night. I think you got a great property. Was there anything that came up from our meeting last night that you had questions about today?
I know. I mean, it was only a couple of days ago, so I don't really have any questions.
Awesome. So here's the deal. Like I said when I met with you last night, I think that based on the market, based on what I saw last night with your house, I think you have a really good shot at selling this property on your own. And I mean that. And just like I said last night, you're going to have a bunch of agents calling you, trying to convince you otherwise. My only intention is this, and I want to be very upfront with you. One is I'm going to do everything in my power to support you in selling this property on your own. If the day ever comes where you have doubts about selling this property on your own, I would love the opportunity to interview for the job of getting your property sold. Would you be open to that down the road?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. I mean, now is not the time to do that, right? Like, you're not looking at any other options at this point?
No. Like we said last night, I'd probably do a couple weeks here and then maybe throw it on the MLS for a flat fee before I look at that.
Awesome. So I will stay in touch with you as you go through this journey. As things pop up, and I mean this, there are going to be things that are thrown at you that you may or may not know. And I'm not just saying this. I really want you to use me as a resource. If something pops up, feel free to text me. Like, my intentions are very pure. I think and believe you can sell the property on your own. And if you can, let's go down that route, okay? And if not, then we'll look at some other options down the road. But if anything pops up, I want you to feel 100% comfortable reaching out to me. Is that fair?
Yeah, appreciate that.
Awesome. So for now, if you need anything, let me know. But I'll stay in touch, and we'll get to work.
Sweet. Thanks, Brandon.
That's the call, right? It's very pure. It's very upfront. It's very intentional. What are your thoughts?
I think that's super good. I mean, I like that we've already talked about, I am the backup plan. And I'm assertive and making sure hey, I'm not out looking for a buyer for you. I'm here as a resource for you and supporting you.
And
he brought that up last night. He was like, are you going to look for a buyer? And I was like, no, I don't have a buyer, but I want to be a resource and I want to support you through this any way that I can. And not try to mistake him in anything.
That's right. And I think you get the fact that one thing I talk about all the time, Jade, is, how many agents on this call have a pocket of buyers that come to us and say, hey, what properties are out there for sale? It's never happened to any realtor on this phone call, and it never will. But the for sale by owner, have you heard me go through this, Jade?
I haven't, no.
Watch this. Everyone pay attention. This is what the for sale by owner doesn't understand, but we will never explain this to them, right? Because then it goes against all of our rules of engagement. But check this out. What does the for sale by owner, Jade, believe that you and every realtor has when they say, yes, we'd be open to working with buyer's agents? What do they believe should happen when they put their house up for sale and a realtor calls?
I bring them a buyer to show them the house. You
got it. So where do they get that belief from? Do you know? And if you don't, it's okay.
They probably think that I have like a database full of buyers that are calling my office saying I'm looking for homes.
But do you know where that came from? Why the Fsbo believes that to be true?
Maybe from big billboards they see of other realtors.
No. So what happened is, how long have you been in the business?
About a year.
Okay, cool. So here's what happened. Before Zillow, before Trulia, before all these websites, buyers did not have access to properties. So it actually used to work that way. So now you know where that thought came from. What used to happen, Jade, was, let's say you were in the business 15 years ago, right? And so that's when I started. There was no Zillow. There was no, buyers couldn't just go out there and find properties in 2 seconds like they can today. They had to get information from you. Now, the for sale by owner still believes that's the way it's done today. But how do buyers get born into the marketplace today? What happens first today?
Well, they go on Zillow or Realtor and look at homes that way.
Then what do? They'll
usually contact an agent.
Well done. That is the part the for sale by owner has not realized. So they could just keep going down this thought from 15, 20, 25 years ago, last 100 years. Remember, these people are only selling 1 or 2 houses their entire life. So they don't know what you know. That's why they think you've got the buyers. And that's why you could feel with absolute integrity to do what Jay just said, you guys. No, I'm not going out there to find you a buyer. The way that I generate buyers, Mr. For Sale by Owner, is through marketing properties like yours. I attract buyers, right? Buyers, so that's the difference. That's the dynamic on why the backup plan works so well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny that you say that, because I think like they have an agent that they're working with to buy, and
that's right.
Most buyers want an agent as like kind of by their side to help them through the process. So it's the same thing on selling, but they don't get that. So
that's right. And so when it comes down to it, that I do bring that up when I'm in the heat of battle with a for sale by owner and it's going well. I'll ask them questions like that. Well, you're working with an agent to help you find a house, correct? Well, yeah. Well, don't you believe most other buyers are the same? And the reason for that, Mr. For Sale by Owner, is how much does it cost you to work with a buyer's agent? Oh yeah, that's right, free. So any buyer out there, they have no downside to work with a buyer's agent. So the most qualified buyers, the ones willing to pay you the most for your property, it's likely that they're working with a buyer's agent. Would you agree? And they always agree, right? And so anyway,
I got one other question. I'll let you get up to the other questions, but that was my first preview appointment last night, and I brought along a print off of their Zillow ad, which they loved, and I went through that. I printed off like the days on market for that specific neighborhood, the active listings that are competition, and then their sold listings that are competition, or the ones that have sold. Is that kind of all you really bring along, is those couple pieces of paper, and I left them as resources?
Yep, and then the only thing you're going to want to print too is you want to have that backup plan or resume printed as well in that folder.
Oh, you do? Okay. Even if you email it to them before?
Yeah, yep. I want them to have a physical format where they can touch and feel it as well.
As your resume or the backup plan?
Either or. Yeah, one of those two things should be in, like you should have a stack of these folders all made up, right? You just grab them and go.
Yeah.
But yeah, they should get a nice package from you when you leave them, right? So it's got their Zillow ad, it's got the CMA, it has your Fsbo resume or backup plan. And there's some other resources that we leave them too, that we give to you as well, just so you know. There's a Fsbo marketing kit.
Yep.
Okay, right? And then there's Fsbo tips and tricks. So you could put all of that into a nice package to leave with them after your appointments.
Sweet. Okay. Awesome.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
No problem, man. Great questions.